Welcome to a brand new episode of Johnson's Court. Today I'm super excited to have one of the original creators on the channel, on the podcast. Here he is, Reo Terry.
What's up, y'all? What's up?
So we're super excited to have Reo on here. We're going to talk about the NBA. So I know we've been talking about the NFL. The NFL is still going on, so I'll still make another podcast with Beagle as well. But now we're going to be talking about the NBA because the NBA season starts tomorrow, Tuesday. So this podcast will come out about 11 a.m. And hope you guys can all give it a listen, give it a watch, probably about 35, 40 minutes. So it'll be a long one, but we've got a lot to talk about because a lot happened during this off season. With that being said, we're just going to get right into it because it's going to be a podcast. But here we go. Now, during this offseason, we had some offseason moves. A couple of people signed some super maxes. People are willing to, give out that money because they make the playoffs or their teams hit certain incentives, and so they're able to have more money. The first person we're going to talk about is Mr. D Book. He signed a 4-year contract worth $224 million. John Morant also signed a 4-year rookie extension for $226 million. Nikola Jokic, who's the former MVP, signed a 5-year, $264 million Supermax. And then Karl Anthony Towns signed a 4-year, $224 million. And then Jordan Poole didn't sign a Supermax, but they did win the championship last year, a 4-year, $140 million. Now, Rio, with that being said, who do you think, with signing all these big deals, being on their teams for in the next 4 or 5 years potentially, which one do you kind of like the most here?
So I think that John Morant and Jokic stand out the most for me. I really like Jokic's. I know that we're talking about a specific player, but I really like the moves that that the Nuggets made around Jokic. I don't know if you know, but they signed KCP, and they got Bruce Brown from the Nets.
Yes.
I just think that they had a really good offseason and that they've really been building pieces around him. I don't think that his play style is really one to get injured a lot. So I think a 5-year deal, you want to lock him up. You're not really scared that he's going to get injured. He's been MVP caliber for the last,
2, 3 years, 4.
3 to 4 years, yeah. And so I think Jokic is the best. I like John Morant as well, though, just because he's the youngest out of this whole list. And it's a rookie extension, and that's just awesome. You definitely want to lock him up. He plays a little more explosive and injury possibility, I think. But, he's the youngest, and so I think that one's really awesome, too. I don't really care too much for the Wolves acquisitions of Gobert. So I love Towns, and I think he definitely deserves a max. I just don't know what they're kind of doing with Gobert, but we'll see.
Absolutely, and we're actually going to get more into that with the trades that happened this offseason, so we'll get into that. But me, that sticks out the most, I would say definitely John Morant. Just like you said, he's the youngest. He's signing a rookie extension, so it's not like, his rookie contract's up now. It's like, hey, now you really got to give him the bag. Yes, they did give him a bag, but he's still on a rookie contract. Just an extension. But, like you said, John Morant does play more explosive posters, playing a little bit more aggressive, a little more injury prone. I know probably don't want to bring it up, don't want to say it, but he kind of plays like D Rose a little bit, with being that explosive. And it's awesome to see a player of that caliber do that again. But, it's all about landing. You want to be in the league for a long time because not only do you want to make a lot of money, and yes, you're about to make a lot of money over the next 4 years, but you want to continue that throughout your career. You want to get more than just one NBA championship. So I think, like you said, the John Morant one sticks out the most. Now, Devin Booker signed a 4-year deal, $224 million. I like that a lot, especially with the addition of Chris Paul, bringing them to a playoff team, going to the finals, and things like that. But, Devin Booker kind of shut down last year in the Western Conference playoffs. And, if he's going to sign this big deal, I think, you need to play like you got paid. And I think that kind of goes for all the players this season, is if you're going to get paid this much money, you better be playing like it, because we didn't just pay you all this money just to be mediocre.
For sure.
And that's just my opinion. Well, what do you think? Do you think that these 4 players will live up to their maxes?
Yeah, I think all these players are definitely going to live up to the Supermaxes. I really don't know how much the Suns have done to build around. I know that they still have Chris Paul, but I don't know if they made too much of a big jump. They do have just, one of the best teams in the league, so maybe they're just trying to rerun it again.
With Monty Williams as coach, they matched the Pacers' offer for DeAndre Ayton, so they re-signed him. I know they wanted Kevin Durant this offseason. That was a big move, but there was just the Nets were asking too much for Kevin Durant, no matter where he went. And Malik Bridges was definitely one player that you're going to have to give up no matter what. And he is a defensive star. I don't know if you watched the finals too much last year, the playoffs, but he is one of their best wing defenders, one of their best defenders, and they can't afford to lose him. I know Kevin Durant's, still arguably one of the top 3-4 players in the league still, but you can't give too much up for him, kind of like the Pelicans did with AD. But the Pelicans are looking pretty nice, so I mean, maybe they should have done it. I don't really know, but we'll also get into that later because the Pelicans are one of my favorite teams going into this next season. Now, we're going to get into trades. Crazy trades this offseason. I think, that if you guys are not watching the NBA, I said it the year before, if you're not watching the NBA right now, you're missing out. This is some of the best basketball you'll ever see happening right now, especially like me growing up watching the NBA, just because I'm really getting involved. I'm really watching the players develop, and I'm able to see them for a long time. Like, I'm not just coming in like I remember I first got into watching Kobe Bryant when he was in the 2010 finals. Yes, he's my favorite player of all time, but I didn't get to see him with Shaquille O'Neal. I didn't get to see him struggle and then go win the MVP. Like, I didn't get to see that growth. I just saw him, towards the end of his career. So I'm seeing all these players now at the beginning of their career and, being able to grow old and see that. And so I just think it's beautiful basketball to watch. And so, like I said, if you're not watching it, watch it, guys. Like, you guys are missing out. And especially, with happening these trades this offseason. We'll just get right into it, and we'll talk about the Jazz. The Jazz blew this team up. They were tired of Donovan Mitchell. They were tired of Rudy Gobert. They were tired maybe of the drama. Maybe they were just tired of being mediocre because they couldn't get past the first round of the playoffs. Reo, I'm going to ask your opinion here, but I'm going to name off what the Jazz sent to the Cleveland Cavaliers to get rid of Donovan Mitchell. So the Jazz got traded Donovan Mitchell away to the Cavs. So the Cavs got Mitchell. Just got him completely. Now the Jazz got Colin Sexton, Lauri Markkanen, a 2025 first round pick, a 2026 pick swap, a 2027 first round, a 2028 pick swap, and a 2029 first round. Now, with all that being said, I feel this is like a 2K trade, to be honest with you, with how many picks they gave up and, two, pretty star players. But what do you have to say about that, Rio? Do you think, this just elevates the Cavs to be a playoff team? And how much does this hurt the Jazz? Or does this set the Jazz up for a good future in the long run?
Yes, I think it's a great question. I think that the East is definitely getting more competitive. I think that a few years ago, when the Warriors were really reigning, we were just saying the West is winning every year, dude. There's no competition in the East. But I think that's really been changing. I think there's a bunch of teams. It's just a toss-up on who could win it. And so I think that the Cavs could still get a playoff spot, even though that the East is getting harder. I really liked Sexton. I wasn't too high on Markkanen, but I think that Mitchell can come in. He can give the defense that Sexton had and a lot more offense. And so I like the Cavs, man. They got Garland. They got Mobley.
They got Karis LeVert from the Pacers.
Yep, I like Karis LeVert. So I think that they're a young, interesting team. I feel like they might be like the East's Grizzlies. If the Hawks aren't that, then these guys might be.
Okay.
The Jazz, man, I mean, the picks are great and all, if you know how to use them. If you know how to use late-round picks like the Warriors, they know how to use late-round picks. Because the Cavs, I don't think they're going to be a lottery team anymore. So I think that the picks that they're going to get, the swaps, they're not going to be like the highest picks. So they're just going to have to be smart with that. And I do like Sexton, though, so we'll see what Utah can do with him.
No, I absolutely agree. I mean, I think this, elevates the Cavs to be a playoff team, especially a play-in tournament team, for sure. It definitely, I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. It takes more than 1 year to build team chemistry. Like, you can't just expect, KD and Kyrie and James Harden to mesh, all well in 1 year, and win the championship. I mean, I bet on them to win the championship, but it just didn't happen. And then with everything happening with COVID and just everything in general, just didn't work out. And so now everybody's just kind of, doing their own path and, going down their own road. But I think the Cavs here, like I said, elevate. And I think, like you said, that was the key right there, what you said. If the Jazz can use these picks correctly, the Jazz are set up. And it's kind of like when the Thunder, they got Chet. They've got Josh Giddey. They're actually using their picks to their advantage. Like you said, you got to be a GM. You got to be a great GM because that's where I feel like that's where your whole team starts. Like, yeah, you can be a great coach and you can have good players, but if you don't have a GM to build around, your good players, you're not going to be a good team.
Absolutely.
I mean, I guess that's how I see it. Next, we're going to talk about the T-Wolves. And I know you said you weren't high on this trade, and I have to agree with you there. So the Timberwolves got Rudy Gobert, and the Jazz will get Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverly, which he's actually on a different team now, Jared Vanderbilt, a 2023 first-round pick, a 2025 first-round pick, a 2026 pick swap, a 2027 first-round pick, and a 2029 first-round pick protected. Now, with that being said, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 picks the Jazz got over the next 6 years. Now, like you said, they've got to use these picks correctly, but what do you think that the Timberwolves can do to use Rudy correctly? Or do you just think it's going to be like a Pelicans when AD was still there and Boogie came along? Do you think it's kind of that scenario?
Oh, dude, I think they could only wish that it was going to be that way. I really like that pairing, man. I think I've heard that we've talked about it, and that I know that you really like that pairing. Some people were down on it. AD and Boogie could both ball handle, shoot, defend, be in the post, and pass. And I feel like Cat can do all those things, but Rudy Gobert can't shoot past, a certain amount of feet from the basket. And dribbling is still, questionable. The passing is still questionable. He is one of the best defenders in the whole league, one of the best rebounders in the whole league, probably the best. I mean, maybe the best in both of those, but, I think that they should just, I don't think it's total chaos for them. I think that Cat should be on the three-point line a little more. He won a three-point contest. I think that he's going to have to get a little further out the paint. Let Rudy get in the middle. Just let their playmakers kind of get in there. I think that Cat should try to learn how to do the pick and roll more. And so him and Rudy can do that pick and roll. Everyone else can space the floor. That's how I think they could utilize him.
I like that because I was thinking more of the lines of you've got D'Lo at the point. You've got Anthony Edwards, which he's becoming a good star. I really like him in the league. And then I forget what other players they have, but those are the four players that stick out to me. And if you can really use those players to your advantage, and like you said, I think the biggest thing that stuck out to me with what you said is if Towns learns how to run that pick and roll better, because then you're like, okay, I know that I have to guard Rudy Gobert because he's gonna come he's gonna roll, he's gonna come in the paint. But then you're like, okay, you can't really sack off too much of Towns because he can shoot as well. So I think if they use that correctly, they're gonna be lethal. I think that Rudy just has to back down because I saw him not even be able to back down Dennis Schroeder during one of the Olympic Games, and I'm like, dude, it's Dennis Schroeder. Like, come on now. Like, you have to be able to – you're a 7-footer, man. Like, you're a center in the NBA. You're one of the most dominant rebounders and whatnot. Like, use your size to your advantage. So I think the Timberwolves – I think this definitely – I don't think it elevates them too much. I still think it puts them around a 6, 7, 8 seed, if you ask me.
Yeah. I think that – I don't think they lost too much to get him, like, as far as their talent right now.
True.
They gave up a lot of picks. But as far as right now, they give up Pat Bev, Beasley. Beasley's a good wing defender, but I think it may. I agree with you. I think it elevates them a little bit. They just need to work around Rudy's offense, which,
we'll see how that goes. They've got a whole year to do it, so.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the LA Lakers. I'm not wearing my LA Lakers shirt. But I am still supporting them in the dream that they have this year. They were able to win a championship in the bubble, but we'll see what LeBron's able to do before his son comes in the league and if he can get another chip. Now, Lakers got Pat Beverly from the Jazz, and they traded Tucker and Stanley Johnson. Now, I'll go ahead and give my opinion about it. Not necessarily like I get having Pat Bev for a defensive presence, but I don't know what else he does besides that. Like sometimes I'll see him like shoot like two or three threes a game and make them, and I'm like, what in the hell did I just watch? I'm like, it's like a player that you just take a three and you're like, oh, I didn't mean to, but like you greened it by accident. Like it just went in. So I don't really think Pat Bev was like a move that like you should have done. I think, like I said it back, when before they even got Russell, I think they should have went out and got Kyle Lowry. They should have went and got DeMar DeRozan or Bradley Beal. They should have got somebody better or Buddy Hield in that aspect than Russell Westbrook. So I just don't think Pat Bev was a good move. What do you think, Rio?
No, absolutely, dude. I feel like they've been cycling through point guards that you get, like your very last pick on a 2K draft.
Mm-hmm.
When you fantasy drafts with your buddies on 2K. It's the point guards that are like Russell, Pat Bev. And so they definitely should have just went out for someone that has just more all around like Kyle Lowry or DeRozan. I think that they're definitely not looking for the future by giving away Tucker. I thought they really liked Tucker, had a good relationship with him. He was a younger player that was developing. But it seems that they don't really, now.
Yeah, and I think that's hard because like being in an organization like that, especially when the Lakers are a big name organization, I feel like they're always in win now mode. But it's hard to always be in win now mode when you're, like you said, you're cycling through point guards and you're just like, oh, let's keep the main three, but then cycle everybody else around. And it's like I kept saying, you got to have more than a year to build team chemistry, and it's just not going to work if you're just going to keep cycling out players.
Yeah, right.
So I personally don't think it's a good move, but. And you obviously don't think so either. I mean, I don't know, we haven't really talked too much about it, but what do you think about Russell Westbrook coming off the bench potentially?
I think that it's going to be weird personally, and I think that feelings are going to be, I think the locker room might be weird, the chemistry might be weird, I think feelings might get in the way a lot. I think it's the smarter move to put him on the bench, man. Unless he just goes off like crazy the first 10 games off the bench, then maybe you can move him back up. But he's just been really struggling. He is a turnover machine, and that is just never good for any team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's just a weird fit, and I think he's a really good player, and I do really still like him. But I think he should be the man of the defense, like a Carmelo Anthony in OKC role.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're just the man of that second unit, and they can just score all they want, have the ball in their hands. Because he's not the best off-ball teammate.
Mm-mm. Absolutely not.
Yeah. And so, I think that Jazz, I think they won that trade, and I think that Russ, he's just going to, is Pat Bev their only other point guard?
I think they signed Dennis Schroeder, I believe. I think they actually signed him.
Well, that'll be a toss-up then, because they got they got Schroeder, that's mainly offense, I would believe, and then Bev, that's mainly defense, and then Russell, who can kind of do both, but he has turnovers and can't shoot the three. So, I personally probably do Schroeder.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know with that one.
It's definitely going to be hard, and I feel like we're going to talk about the Lakers more than what we want to this year, and it's probably going to be more negative than positive. But we'll just find out. Maybe they prove us wrong. Maybe Westbrook plays great off the bench. But moving into the Celtics actually got Michael Brogdon from the Pacers. Now, this wasn't a move that I was kind of really expecting because I was like, I really like Michael Brogdon. Like, he's a very good piece. The Lakers are totally 100% rebuilding now. I think the Pacers are 100% rebuilding. And that's okay. You have to, you either have to completely rebuild or you have to continue with your roster. And it's kind of like the Jazz. They were like, you know what? Let's blow it up. And so, like, you either have to blow it up or not blow it up. And, you have to commit and make that decision. The Pacers got Daniel Theis, Aaron Nesmith, and a 2023 first-round pick. Who do you think won this trade?
Dude, I'm with you. I love Malcolm Brogdon as well. I've been watching him on the Pacers. He elevated our team a lot when he came to us. He was on the Bucks, if you remember, man.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And he was a really good point guard to Giannis. He brings defense, shooting. I think now I don't want to misquote, but I thought that he was part of the 50-40-90 club.
I want to say yes. That does sound very familiar.
And that's impressive. That's super impressive. And that's just coming out of nowhere. And so I think the Celtics won this trade. I know the Pacers are rebuilding, so they got to do what they got to do. I think that they're going in the right direction with Halliburton.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, getting a young athletic star. They've been going with a big men that aren't athletic ever since Paul George left, and it just hasn't been working for them. They've been doing the older style of play, post play. I like that they're going with Halliburton, more of a wing player that's kind of a 3-and-D. Also has got some playmaking.
He can pass like crazy. So I mean, yeah, I think the Celtics won this trade as of now, just because they're in win now mode. Obviously, they went to the finals last year, lost it, to the Warriors, but probably could have put a better fight. But adding Michael Brogdon's definitely going to 100% help, especially being part of, don't misquote us, but a 50-40-90 club. And he's just going to elevate their team and make them better as well. So excited for the Celtics this year, to be better, because you definitely don't always want to see a Western Conference team win the NBA Finals, and the Warriors need to not win.
Right. Do you think that he will be a starter on the Celtics?
Who's their other point guard?
Well, I know Kemba is somewhere else. He's somewhere else. So
I think Kemba's a free agent.
Between him or Smart.
Smart plays the 2.
Marcus Smart.
Yeah, because you've got Jaylen Brown at the 3 and Tatum at the 4, and then Robert Williams the 3rd at the 5.
That's a good lineup. Yeah, yes, start Brogdon.
So yeah, they're going to start Brogdon, which I'm excited for that team. Now we're going to talk about the drama, and I want to see kind of what you think about this, Rio, because even though this man got knocked the hell out, he still got the bag. Doesn't matter.
Yes.
But Draymond Green, during practice of a heated exchange, looked like he knocked him out. Not just punched him, but knocked Jordan Poole out. Do you think there should have been a fine or a suspension or anything like that? Or do you think that since it was during a practice and it wasn't really with the NBA and the season hadn't started yet, that he should just walk free?
So I've kind of I haven't done like too much digging, but they were in a little bit of an argument.
Heated exchange.
I feel like all the videos that do come out, it does just seem like, and we know that Draymond can have hot-headed moments.
He's a hostile player.
Yeah. So Steven Adams can attest to that. But it was said that they were in an argument, and so it wasn't just kind of like a Draymond attack. But they were in an argument. There was a play. They were getting physical. In a play when some player can throw some kind of elbow, some kind of just quick little thing that we don't see, and the camera probably didn't pick up.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it was probably like a little bit of a mutual fight. In the games that they are in, the 1 or 2 games that they have had, they've dapped up on the way to the court.
In the preseason, yeah.
In lineups. So I mean, I'm not saying that's means that they're total BFFs, but I think that if Poole is okay with it and he sums it up as just a man-to-man argument, I think that I'm okay with no fines. No, I mean, suspensions, I don't even know how to really handle that. I don't even know what a game does or what a week. So, I mean, if you did want to give a game, maybe, but
Yeah.
I think that it was kind of just like a mutual, maybe just a little tough. It was a hard hit. It was. And Draymond's strong. But I think Poole said that, it's not the, end-all, be-all.
Yeah, he said that they're here to win championships. That's their whole goal, and I understand that, and I get that. But to me, I think that's unsportsmanlike contact. Like, I know you get pretty heated. We've been heated in games and things like that. Like, I get it, but you just don't go and punch like one of your best friends on the team. I know that you can get really mad and it can be heated exchange, but that's just uncalled for. And I think he deserves to get suspended. Or I think he got fined, actually. I don't know how much money he got fined, but I think he deserved to at least be suspended for like the first 5 games. Now, supposedly I heard that like the NBA wasn't going to do anything because it just was before the start of the season. It was before like the preseason started, so like it didn't really have anything to do with him. But still, I think the Warriors should have at least done more than fine him because it's just like, hey, it to me it felt like a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
And it just didn't seem like it was a big enough punishment to be like, hey, like we won't accept this behavior. But
Do you think they should have stood up for Poole more, their younger player who they just gave a big contract to?
I think so. I do believe they should have stuck up for him more. I don't know if he started or what happened, but at the same time, as much as I hate to say this because I'm just not a Draymond Green fan, like I mean, yes, like he's so vital to the Warriors offense. And I think that's the number one reason why they didn't suspend him in any games. Is because he is so vital. He runs that. I mean, Curry is the offense, but you know what I mean. Like he's vocal. He's running that offense. Like he is the in and out of that offense. Like when they don't have him, he loses games. Like you saw it in the finals when he played LeBron when he got suspended. Like not being there makes a huge difference, and I just think that was the biggest reason why they didn't suspend him. But at the end of the day, the NBA is going to do what they're going to do, and maybe this brings them together and they win another chip. I don't really know.
It might. I definitely agree with you, man. It definitely was a little unsportsmanlike. I don't think that I would definitely not do that with any of you guys. But yeah, it does seem a little pushing under the rug. It seems like they're just trying to find out who leaked the video.
I'm glad whoever leaked the video. I'm happy. I mean, because I want to see that. I don't want to just hear about it. But at the same time, I mean, Jordan Poole got the bag, so I mean, he took a punch to the face and got the bag, and maybe that was all it took the Warriors to do. Maybe Draymond Green was helping him in reality.
It might have been some old Michael Jordan type stuff. Maybe Kerr told him to do it.
It's very possible. Michael Jordan was on the phone and was like, Steve Kerr, hey, we need you to have Draymond Green punch him in the face. He needs to get his bag.
League to be hard again.
Exactly. We need to be like the 90s. Now, our last segment, that'll probably be about 12 minutes because we've got a lot to talk about. And we're going to go over our playoff predictions, number 1 all the way through 10, since the NBA is still doing the play-in tournament, which I believe is great. Rio, I know we talked about it. You believe it's great as well. It helps the teams not from tanking all the way, and you can just, see more high level of play for a longer period of the season. Now, we'll go ahead and go in the Eastern Conference, and I'm just going to go through and go 1 through 10, give the records as well. You kind of give me a recap of that, and then we'll do the West, and then we will give our predictions.
Okay.
So the Eastern Conference, you had the Heat coming in at number 1 at 53-29. You had the Boston Celtics at 51-31 coming in at second. You had the Bucks at 3 at 51-31. You got the 76ers at 51-31 as well, so that 2 through 4 could have been any different. The Raptors at 5 at 48-34. The Bulls at 6 at 46-36. Then you've got the Brooklyn Nets at 44-38, which surprised they even were able to make the play-in tournament with everything that happened with them last season. And then the Hawks at 43-39. The Cavs at 44-38. And then the Hornets at 43-39. Now, Rio, if you just kind of want to give me a recap of what you think about this seeding, maybe a little bit about like season, and then we'll go to the Western Conference.
Yeah. So, would you like a next year's kind of prediction? You were saying.
So we're gonna do that here in a second, but if you just kind of want to, recap what you thought of, the 1 through 10,
Yes.
in last year.
So yeah, dude, the Heat. I mean, I think they're just a sound team. They got excellent coaching. Eric Spoelstra. They got a good, well-rounded team. I think they're defensive-focused. I feel like the defensive-focused teams really, the defense wins championships motto is correct a lot of times. And so I think that a lot of the teams with the best defenses are the top seeds. And so the Heat, the Celtics are another team that has an amazing coach and great defense. Actually, they don't have Brad Stevens anymore, do they?
No, I can't think of the name of their coach, but he won't be able to end the season. So now they're gonna have a different coach.
Well,
Brad Stevens is the GM. He's been the GM for like 3 or 4 years almost.
Yeah.
So he's been gone for a minute.
Yeah. But and so I like those two teams. Those are two young teams as well. I feel like the Bucks, they have Giannis, and I do like Middleton. I feel like he's not on the younger side, but I feel like besides Giannis, they just keep trying to fill in holes. I do like Drew Holiday. I really do like Drew Holiday. but
Help
it
them win
does
the
seem like
chip.
they just try to fill in holes. So they'll get some older veterans, maybe some not as athletic guys,
Yep.
and I feel like ever since they built that core with like Brooke Lopez, it's kind of been fading a little bit. Last year they didn't do as good, and so I feel like it's because their older players are kind of maybe just getting a little more, just slow.
Yep.
I think the 76ers, they were a 4 seed last year, dude, but I think that they're going to make a jump. Like, dude, Harden and Joel, like, Joel's playing like an MVP. He's going to be fighting Joker for it.
Absolutely.
I like Harden. I hope he, like, bounces back. And so the Raptors, they're kind of a young team. They're still kind of developing. Pascal Siakam is just getting better every year, so I think that they'll improve. I think the only lineup change is I think that the Bucks. I think that they'll jump to the 2 or 1 seed. I don't know if you've seen, but they got Joe Ingles.
He did tear his ACL last year, so keep that in consideration.
Right. He's not the most explosive player, so hopefully that they can just kind of get him in that shooter role. But they didn't give up anybody. They re-signed everybody. And they got Joe Ingles. So I do like the Bucks in that situation. The Bulls, dude, I know they're dealing with injuries and a lot of stuff, but they're one of the most exciting teams. If they're
100%. 100%.
Yeah. We like the trio of Lonzo, Zach LaVine, and DeMar.
100%.
So they're exciting. The Nets, dude, I don't know what's happening with them. I don't have much faith. I don't really like them too much. Like, I got a pair of Kyries that I play basketball in all the time, and I've studied Kyrie and I imitate my game a lot from him, but I'm just not the biggest fan of their team, and that kind of, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. They got a weird, gloomy atmosphere to their team.
True.
So I don't know how well they're going to do. I think Ben Simmons is looking better. I think that he will improve them. I feel like every team, dude, in the East is going to improve. So it's like, who's going to get worse?
And that's the crazy thing. Somebody has to miss the playoffs.
The Hornets. Okay, so the Hornets, dude, LaMelo and some of their pieces, they're gonna grow, but they lost Bridges.
Yeah. He did that to himself.
I agree, and they didn't add anybody, so they kind of took a hit.
They did.
And then we kind of talked about the Cavs earlier. I think that they'll. I don't even know, dude. This list is tough. Like, I think that they'll all improve, but I don't know if they'll jump significant spots.
Absolutely. I mean, we'll definitely talk about our rank in the playoffs and who we got where. We'll start from 10 and go all the way to 1. But now let me just kind of go into the Western Conference. You had the Suns with the best record in the NBA last year at 64 wins and 18 losses. With that kind of stat, remind me of I brought it up last year. Chris Paul has been to 4 different franchises and has had 4 different franchises over 60 wins. Just take that in consideration of how great of a generational player Chris Paul is. Then you had the Grizzlies coming in at 56 and 26, so the Grizzlies were 2nd seed. The Warriors were 3rd at 53 and 29. The Mavs at 52 and 30 with Mr. Luka. The Jazz at 49 and 33, even with all the trauma that they had going on. The Nuggets at 48 and 34 with the injuries that plagued their team last year. The T-Wolves at 46 and 36. And when they won their playoff matchup, they celebrated like they won an NBA championship. The Pelicans at number 8, 36 and 46. The Clippers at 42 and 40 with the injuries, with Kawhi being out all year and then Paul George getting hurt, but they still stayed afloat, really. And then the Spurs at 34 and 48, just kind of hung around. But, I'll go ahead and give my opinion on the Western Conference final, or the Western Conference, and then we'll get into our picks. I think the Spurs, I think they drop even lower. I think somebody's going to fight for the 10th spot, but it's not really going to matter. The Clippers, they're my team to win the West this year. They're my team to go number 1. Just with the addition of John Wall, Kawhi, rehabbed it the entire year from his torn ACL. So I'm excited. He's arguably my favorite player in the NBA right now, who isn't a young player, who's like an older player, I would say. But then Paul George coming back. And they're just a well-rounded team as well, with all the players that they have. The Pelicans are an exciting team to watch. So I think, we'll talk a little bit more about them when we get to the predictions, but Zion Williamson is coming back. We're excited to see him. With him being off all year last year, I know they debated whether he should come back or not. If they could make the playoffs, but I think it was the right decision not to play him, just because he's your future star and he's a generational player. So I'm not too worried that he didn't make the playoffs last year. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Then you go to the Timberwolves at number 7. I feel like they stay around somewhere in that area. The Nuggets at number 6. Jamal Murray's coming back. My dog, bro. Dude, I am so hyped for Jamal Murray, dude. I love his game, dude. I love everything about that dude. He has the best 360 layup I've ever seen. It was in the bubble. He did it to LeBron, dude. I watch that highlight all the time, and I'm just like, this is one of the most beautiful layups I've ever seen in my life. So it's just really cool. They've gotten better. Michael Porter Jr. is getting healthier. They made addition to the roster, just like you said. So shout out to the Nuggets. I think they'll do pretty well this year. The Jazz are going to drop out of the playoffs, so I'm not even going to talk about them. I just think they drop out in general, trading your 2 biggest players. And they want to get better anyways, in the long run. So, but they're just crazy to make the playoffs and then, just completely tank. But, they've been mediocre for a few years. They still got Jordan Clarkson, though, so shout out to him. He's on my fantasy team. Then you got the Mavs coming in at number 4, 52-30. I think, the Mavs kind of stay somewhere around there. I love Luka. He's my favorite young player to watch for sure. But, they definitely went out and got Christian Wood. They got better. But, the West is just hard. So that's just the reason I say that. The Warriors are number 3. I think they stay in that top 3 seed, to be honest, with everything that has been going on with them. And just still how good that they can be and just the way they run their offense and everything. And James Wiseman is coming back. He's playing in the preseason, so they finally have a big man for once. I don't think they've ever had a big man besides Andrew Bogut. So
1 year.
That tells you a lot. And then the Grizzlies at number 2, not really surprised me too much. I mean, yes, towards the beginning of the season it surprised me, but towards the end it didn't. Just because they are dogs, bro. John Morant, they have nothing to lose, and I think that's why they're the most exciting team to watch in the West for sure, because they have nothing to lose. And then the Suns with the best record, it just shows and proves that Chris Paul is one of the best point guards of all time. Even if you don't have him in your top 3 and your top 5, because he may not ever win an NBA championship, just the stat I brought up earlier, 4 different franchises winning over 60 wins, and he's the reason why. So for me, that just speaks volumes right there. But now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty stuff. Now we're going to get into the 1 through 10, the playoff prediction. So this is the way we're going to do it. Rio, you're going to give your number 10, I'm going to give my number 10. You're going to give your number 9, I'm going to give my number 9. And we're just going to go back and forth like that. And I think it's going to be fun, no, don't just say, I have these at number 10. Give a little backstory of why you think that. And let's just go from there. So, let's just start with you here, Rio. The playoff predictions, what we think is going to happen. Who's going to make the final play-in spot in the Western Conference Finals?
All right, the Western Conference. So we got the 10 spot, right? 10 and 9 are the play-ins.
Well, 7, 8, 9, 10 are, but yes.
7, 8, 9, and 10, right. So the 10, I agree with you, man. I think that the Spurs are going to drop out. I think that they're not going to hold on to this, anymore. They lost DeJounte Murray to the Hawks.
They did.
We didn't talk about. I think we missed that, but that was a good little acquisition.
We'll definitely talk about the Hawks because I bet you got them in here for sure. So,
so I think that I'm putting the Lakers at 10.
He's gonna put the LA Lakers. Is your favorite player not LeBron anymore?
No, I love LeBron.
Okay,
man. I love
okay,
LeBron,
okay.
I hope that they do awesome, but they didn't make any acquisitions that are crazy. I don't know. It's tough.
No.
AD can't be healthy.
AD cannot stay healthy. I understand. I get it. But man, I don't know, man. That is actually a shocker for me because I didn't think you've got the Lakers at 10. Now that doesn't mean that they can't still make the playoffs, but man, who would I put at number 10? Oh my gosh. Oh man.
I don't see the Kings, Blazers, Thunder, or Rockets getting that spot.
No, that's so true, though. I mean, they're all kind of in rebuild mode and whatnot. I think, if anything, Let's go the Kings at number 10. I'm gonna say the Kings. Just since they have Sabonis. They traded. They got from the Pacers and things like that. I think first year last year. Being traded. Now he's got more team chemistry and whatnot. And the Kings are trying. De'Aaron Fox. He's really trying to pull that team together. I know they lost Buddy Hield, but I think I'm gonna take the Kings at number 10.
And hey, Sabonis is an all-star, so that's
That,
a good. That's a good take.
That is absolutely true. Okay, I will give my 10 for the Eastern, and then I'll let you go. Man, as much as I want to say the Hornets are going to make it in, I'm going to go with the New York Knicks. I know that might surprise you a little bit, but they went out and got Jalen Brunson. They signed him to a pretty big deal. In New York, from the Mavericks, and D Rose is still there. He's still playing pretty healthy. Julius Randle, playing pretty well. I just think that if they use their young core, to their advantage, because they've got Kevin Knox, they've got R.J. Barrett. I think that team can play pretty well. And with the Hornets, yeah, they are getting better, but I think the Knicks sneak in at number 10.
It's hard to disagree with you, man. I know, the Hornets. They didn't really. They have to rely on improving from LaMelo. They lost Bridges, but they still have Washington.
P.J. Washington, he's good, or T.J. Washington, something like that.
Either or. Scary Terry.
He's a dog.
Oh man,
It's hard.
No, I agree with you, man. I think that the Knicks are gonna push up there. Someone you didn't mention is Robinson down in the center position.
Oh yes. I like him a lot. Yeah.
That he'll elevate them past the Hornets.
Okay. Wow, we're going with the Knicks. Man, I honestly didn't expect that. But I just don't. With losing Miles Bridges is gonna hurt them a lot. I think more than what they think. Now at number 9 for the Western Conference, I'll go first. Oh man, I want to say the Timberwolves are going to make the number 9 spot. I'm going to go with the T-Wolves here. I think that it's going to take them longer to mesh Towns and Rudy than what we think. And I think other teams are going to, stay, completed. They're going to play better. And I think they're just going to have an answer for the T-Wolves. So I'm going T-Wolves at number 9, but I still think that they, not to say that they can't make the playoffs, but, that playing tournament, you have one bad game, and, that's all it takes. But I think the T-Wolves are going to come in at number 9.
Good pick. So, I know that you have those Clippers that are at 9. I know you got them skyrocketing.
You best believe.
Well,
if we're having such a hard time at 10 and 9, I can't imagine until we get to 1.
Oh, dude, for real. Okay. Honestly, dude, okay, am I allowed to change a pick?
If you would like, yeah.
Okay. So I would like to put the Jazz at 10, and I'm going to bring the Lakers up to 9. I think that the Lakers are going to do better than the Jazz.
You still have the Jazz as a playoff team?
I do, man. They got a good coach. They got good
True.
roots. We'll see what they do without the best defensive player and, one of the best offensive players, but...
I agree with that. All right, give me your pick for number 9 in the Eastern Conference.
Okay, so...
I feel like I know who you're going to pick, but I could be surprised.
I'm going to go with... I'll probably stay with the Cavaliers. Stay at 9. Where'd you think I was going?
I thought you were going Nets. I'm not going to lie.
I got a little more faith in them. I I got a little more faith in them. And then I'll tell you what. Once we get to it later, I'll tell you why I didn't put the Hawks there.
Okay, all right. I like that. That's crazy because I don't have the Cavs at number 9. I've got them higher than that. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna put the Nets at number 9. And the reason I say that is because Ben Simmons, you didn't play at all when you got traded. You had mental health issues you want to take care of, and that's okay, man. I respect your mental health. Like you got to get in the right headspace. I'm not mad at you there at all. But if that's the case, you better get your ass in gear. Because Kevin Durant, as you could tell, he didn't want to be there.
Yep.
Kyrie Irving, I understand with the vaccine situation and whatnot, you were able to, play some games towards the end, but not enough games. And I think that's really what hurt you guys for sure. I've got the Nets pretty low because I just think that the Eastern Conference is just really good. And I think you need to bring your A game. And that's why I think the Nets need to figure it out sooner rather than later. Because with James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving couldn't get it together. And that's some of the best 3 ball haters that we've ever seen in the league. And now James Harden is on the 76ers and Ben Simmons there. Maybe that plays better because, he's a better defender or whatnot. I don't know. But I don't have as much faith in the Nets as what I thought I was going to, because I picked them to win the championship as soon as James Harden came. As soon as Kevin Durant came, I picked them. And I'll admit that, and I feel like I can go back and say I said that on the podcast. I had the Nets winning, and they just not really been able to, prove it to me that they're capable of doing that yet. And so I've got the Nets at number 9.
They ruined your trust, bro.
They really did. I can't do that to a man. Number 8, Reo. Who do you have at number 8 in the Western Conference?
All right, we're going back over to the West. So I do have the Jazz. I know it's crazy. Jazz.
At 10, the Lakers at 9.
So I'm gonna drop the T-Wolves down to 8.
Okay, understand. Any reasoning behind why you didn't put them at 9 or 10?
Oh, dude. I mean, I really love Cat. You know that in high school I was a Kentucky fan, and so I watched Cat I watched every single one of his college games, and he actually wasn't always the starter, and didn't always get starter minutes. He shared the floor like half and half with Trey Lyles, which is someone you're scared of. And so, so I really like Cat. I think that we as a group, we all really like Cat. We all like D'Lo. Anthony Edwards is a young star. Yeah, ice and veins. Anthony Edwards, he's proven a lot, dude. He's really good.
He's playing a lot of minutes, too.
Yeah. And so I think he's real mature for being also really young. And so,
very true.
I really like them. I just didn't like that Rudy acquisition. So I think that it's going to help their defense. I just think they're going to have to figure some stuff out on offense. But I definitely have them a bit higher than the bottom, but still playing level.
Okay.
What about you?
At number 8, now if we didn't have the play-in tournament, this is who I think would make the playoffs. Man. I don't want to say it. I really don't, because I have so much hype for them. I really, really do. I've got to go the Pelicans. I think, with Zion now coming back, I love that, man. I think he wins 6th man of the year, to be honest, dude. Or comeback player of the year. I really do. I remember watching his first game in the NBA. I was sitting in my dorm room. I was still in college. He literally went 3 for 3 behind the 3-point line, dude. And I was like, what are you doing shooting the ball, dude? And he cashes that, dude. He was playing phenomenal, out of his mind. He was playing great. And they took him out with minute restriction and whatnot. Basically, probably could have won that game, this starting game. But I love CJ McCollum, man. He's my dog, dude. I said that you should have kept him instead of Dame. But the Trailblazers kept Dame, which, no mad, no hate there. That's just, who they want, which I'm not mad at all. And I think CJ going to the Pelicans is a great move, especially when the Lakers traded for AD. I love Brandon Ingram. I love what he's able to do. He was a dog last year playing on the Pelicans. I just think they have a pretty good team. Why can't I think of their center's name? Steven Adams? Is it still Steven Adams?
Yeah.
And then do they have also? Did he get traded, or do they have Valanciunas?
Valanciunas is
Or did he get traded to the Grizzlies? Because he wasn't.
Well, no, on the fantasy draft, dude, I was going to pick him, but I was like, that's a lot of ball sharing on the Pelicans, so I didn't choose him.
Okay. And with that being said as well, I love the Pelicans starting five. I think now they could shock me here, but like I said, the West is hard, so I've got them at least making the playoffs. I'm going Pelicans number 8.
Nice pick.
I'll go ahead and give my thoughts on the 8th in the Eastern Conference, and oh man, this is ain't easy. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna have to go Raptors at number 8. I don't believe the Raptors shocked me at being a number 5 seed. I think I remember saying it last year. I just don't think the Raptors are as good as what I believe they are to be. And if the East has gotten better, I think the Raptors are going to come down. I like Spicy P. I think he's great. I like their head coach. I like where they're going. OG, he's pretty good as well. But I just don't see them. I don't see them being as well. But I still have them making the playoffs at number 8. That's it.
That's a good pick. You're dropping them a few down, man. But I know there's got to be some space for some other teams, though. Everyone's improving. So I think I got Knicks.
You got the Knicks and the Cavs.
Knicks and the Cavs. So I'm gonna put the Nets right here at 8.
Okay.
I got a lot of faith in the Hawks this year, dude. So we'll get to that later, but yeah, I'm gonna put the Nets right there, dude. I think that it's gonna be. I think it might mesh well. I know I'm dropping them a seed, but I think that they're gonna mesh better than they did with James Harden. I feel like Simmons is gonna bring some defense.
Mm-hmm.
I feel not gonna feel like they're sharing the ball nearly as much.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I like I like the Nets right there at 8.
And that's it. Yeah, all right. I mean, that's not a bad pick. I had him at 9, so I understand. At number 7 in the Western Conference, I'm going to go. Oh no! Oh man! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh man! You know what? I'm going to say it. As much as I love watching them play, I'm putting the Mavs at number 7. I don't believe the Mavs will play as good as what they played last year. And that's only because I think the Clippers are going to, be at a higher seed. Like I said, I have them jumping up pretty far. And then you got the Jazz coming out of there. So, I mean, I think Luka will still play well. I think he'll get basically 25 shots a night. That's what he's going to put up. I mean, that's just how many shots they want him to take. Hopefully Timmy Hardaway, comes back from injury and plays well. But I just don't have too much to say about the Mavs. I just think they performed a lot better than what I thought last year. And so I'm just going to I'm going to put them at 7.
That is a lot lower than I got him, my friend. But respect. I definitely understand. It's tough because, you look at their defense and you're like, how are they top 14?
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I definitely get that.
So who you got coming in at number 7?
I think I'm going to put the Pelicans right there at 7.
All right. I like
agree
that.
with a lot of the points you had, dude. I think that we like the players in different ways. So, is your favorite player on that team Zion?
I would have to go CJ is my favorite player on that team, but I would say the dog on that team is Brandon Ingram.
See, that would be my favorite player. So I feel like we do kind of like that team for a little different reasons. But I like the way they all mesh. I think that CJ coming in is a big help. Zion needed a year to. I think he's even looking better and in shape.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh yeah, that's huge.
So yeah, dude, I think the Pelicans are good. You had them at 9, did you?
I had the Pelicans at 8, so still making the playoffs.
Okay.
But no, that's.
I would have.
Yeah, that's awesome. We could definitely have a lot of hype for the Pelicans, since AD was on there first, and I still kind of liked him. At number 7 in the Eastern Conference, who you got, my guy? You've got the Knicks at 10, the Cavs at 9, and the Nets at 8.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead if they still had Kyle Lowry, they would be a lot higher.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that point. Yeah, I do.
I loved them when they had Kyle Lowry, dude. But I feel like without a floor general, I love their pieces like OG and Pascal.
Hey! Put some respect on Mr. Fred's name now. Hey, he's a floor general.
I do like Fred. He's just he's a little bit of an unorthodox player, and he did come out of nowhere. I just feel like he's a little more of a scorer, where Kyle Lowry kind of was a little more overall, all around. So I'm gonna put them down there at is it 6 that we're on?
Number 7.
Number 7.
I know you're not going to agree with what I'm about to say, but because I know you hyping them, but I got the Hawks at number 7.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because yes, they went out and got Murray, and I think that definitely is going to help them, especially take a lot of pressure off of Trey because people were double teaming him. That's why the Heat were able to beat them last year. The Heat could guard all 5 positions, and that's exactly what you talked about. Defense that's the reason why they were the number 1 seed. I think I love John Collins. I think he played well. I love Mr. Clint Capella. He's a good rim protector. I think they still have Cam Reddish. I'm not sure. But I like the Hawks. I think they're just still young. And yes, they've had more time to develop than the Cavs. But I just think that if Trey's going to be that guy, I think he just needs to do more for that offense. I think. But I've got the Hawks at number 7.
Nice pick, dude. Nice pick. I don't blame you on that one. And they did lose. They lost someone to get Murray, didn't they?
Did they lose Boba or Bogdanovich? Did they lose him?
I think so. I think they lost that awesome shooter. So
yeah,
that's going to be a hit.
So we'll definitely see there. But now I'll go ahead and do my number 6 pick in the Western Conference.
Right.
So I got Kings, T-Wolves, Pelicans, Mavs. It's hard, dude. It's getting down. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. Oh shoot, I think I messed up.
It's just about how do you place them?
Because the records would get so easy. I think I'm gonna go. Man, they're just too good. They're so good.
I think I know what you're doing here.
I don't though, dude. I'm so drawing a blank. Man. You're not gonna believe it. You're really not. But with the number 6 seed, I'm going the Suns.
Oh, that was unexpected, dude.
I'm going the
Suns.
Suns.
Grizzlies.
I'm not going to go the Grizzlies because I think they're not to say they're a better team than the Suns, but I just believe that they'll play a little bit. I think the Grizzlies just have that dog in them, and I think the Suns, they're struggling a little bit. Chris Paul's getting older with injury, things like that. They signed DeAndre Ayton. They might have got a little bit better in the offseason, but you didn't play like it last year in the playoffs, and so I think that's the biggest thing to me is you lost to the Warriors, and just weren't able to. Or did they lose? No, they lost to the Mavericks actually.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy to see, and I just think that the Suns you signed Booker to that deal, and if Booker plays like he's supposed to, then the Suns will be higher. But until he proves me that, I've got the Suns at number 6.
Wow, dude. Yeah, you're West, man. You're really shaking it up. You got the Mavs and the Suns dropping down. You got the first seed.
Oh, just wait.
At number 6, dude, I'll probably... I know you don't got... So I'm going to go with the Grizzlies at number 6.
The Grizzlies, okay.
I kind of think, like you said, who did you say this for? I think you said this for the Mavericks, that they overperformed, which I agree with the Mavericks, but I think that the Grizzlies are another team that overperformed for me a little bit. I think it's crazy and impressive, but...
okay. Awesome. All right, I did it right.
We'll I just think other teams are going to improve. I think that they'll improve. I think their young guys will improve, but
Do you think it's because Jaw is injury prone?
no, that's not why. I think that, I think he'll probably have a relatively healthy season, and I think that everyone will kind of improve. I just think that the Warriors just have a better coaching staff and better identity. Their players are smarter with better IQ and older, and so I just think stuff like that's going to beat out the Grizzlies' record.
Okay, I understand. Okay, I get that. No, I mean, I understand. I think, even for you to say, the Grizzlies did a little bit overperform last year, to say that, they were the second seed. So I understand. Dang, I don't even want to look at the Western Conference yet. Let's go to the Eastern Conference. Tell me who you've got at number 6.
At 6, okay. So, I know I got Knicks,
Cavs at number 9, the Nets at 8, and the Raptors at 7. I've got it all written down.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Dude, I'm gonna put the Bulls right here. I really do love Lonzo. I really do love Levine and DeRozan.
Mm-hmm.
And they have offensive fireworks, dude. And I know that Lonzo's a good defender, but I just feel like they're not quite all around.
You still got Caruso. You've got Vukovic at the center. Patrick Williams is coming back. They definitely did deal with injuries last year for sure.
Yeah. I like them, man. I think they're a good team, but I got a few teams that I feel are going to be better, so.
You know what? It's kind of funny because I have to agree with you, man. I already had the Bulls at 6. I was already going to put them there, so it's just funny that you put them there as well. So that is the one pick that I know we will at least agree on so far. And I think it's also just because Lonzo's also not going to start the season. He's still out for a little bit longer. And not being healthy definitely hurts you. And like you said, we talked about how we like the trio and whatnot, but the East has just gotten better, and you need to be healthy.
Yep.
You just have to be. All right. I will give my pick for number 5 in the Western Conference. Okay. Coming in at number 5, a top 5 seed. I'm going to put... I have to. I've got to put the Grizzlies at number 5.
Oh, okay. So not too far off from my 6.
Yeah, I just think, there still are a few better teams that can, like you said, with what you say about the Warriors, just smarter, better. Not to say that the Grizzlies won't be a top 3 seed, but they just overperformed last year, and this is really where I had them last year.
Right.
All right, who you got? Who you got at number 5?
So at 5, dude, I'm gonna go with the Mavericks. I really like the Mavericks, and I did put them a bit higher than you did, bro. Did you have them at 7?
I had him at 7, yes. You had him at 5.
I got him at 5, man. I love Luka, and I think
I agree.
The team is going to be better with Wood than Brunson.
100%. Like, Porzingis wasn't the answer.
Yeah. And so I've been watching a lot of SportsCenter, man, and a lot of people are hating on giving away Brunson, and I like him, but I don't know if that was the best fit for Luka. It was awesome to run the bench for him, but yeah, they just need to be better on all the different positions. Not have 2 point guards that are doing everything.
No, I know. I 100% agree with that.
But yeah, bro, I got the Mavs a little higher.
You do. So I messed up my Western picks a little bit. So I'll go ahead and fix this real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to keep everybody the same, but I'm going to put the... Oh, my gosh. Never mind. I didn't mess up. Never mind. Take that back. Who do you have 5th in the Eastern Conference?
All right, so East.
I thought I messed up, but never mind. I got it.
Oh, you're good, homie. Okay, so I want to be risky, bro, but I'm just going to put the 76ers right here. Now,
Ooh,
hear me out.
okay.
If Harden goes off and Embiid goes off, they could be number 2, dude.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I'm going to put him at 4.
4, okay.
I'm going to put him
That's.
at 4.
I'm definitely not mad that you put him at number.
Is it 4 or 5?
You put him at 5. You put him at 5.
I'm not missing.
We still haven't had put the Heat, Celtics, Bucks, Hawks.
Oh, okay. No, okay. I thought I had the Hawks. Okay, so, bro. I got the Hawks at 5. My bad.
Okay. That's all good. All good. Okay,
See, I
now
thought we had already done the Hawks.
I did the Hawks.
You did the Hawks, right on.
So why do you get the Hawks at 5? I know you said you talked about them and you really wanted to hype them up. I've got the Hawks at number 7. You got them at number 5.
You do. We kind of have the Western Conference thing going on with the Mavericks flip-flopped. And so, man, I think that they're going to do better than the Bulls. I feel like they got a more complete team. Like, I know that the Bulls have more star power, but I just feel like I love Trey and that 3 spacing. They have Clint. They have Collins.
Yep.
They just have some good wing players. They are. I feel like they are developing a little more than the Bulls, but
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, just the playoff success. I got the Hawks a little bit above the Bulls, man.
Okay. All right. Now
What about you, man? Are we on the East for you too?
we are for my number 5. I'm gonna go with the Cavs.
Oh, I forgot about them, bro. You have them jumping way high.
So they went from 9. I have them going last year from 9 to 5. You have them staying at number 9 for you. Now, I'm kind of how you're hyped with the Hawks. I'm hype about the Cavs. They, just went out and got Mitchell. They have Darius Garland. They've got Evan Mobley, who was, I don't know if he won Rookie of the Year or not, but was in the Rookie of the Year running. Jared Allen as well. They still have Kevin Love, which is great coming off the bench. He's a great role model player. And I'm just really hype around this Cavs team. They also have Karis LeVert. Like, I just think that they got so much better. I think it's going to take them much of the year to kind of develop. But I think once they get it, they'll get it. And like I said, they've got that leadership on that team. And I think I believe in the Cavs. I really do.
Yeah. I agree with you, man. I think that leadership might take a little bit, and that's maybe why I think that record might not be there.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely agree with you, man. I almost see them maybe making a lower seed and doing have really good playoff success.
That could happen too. We just never know with the East and West getting better. Now I'm going to do my Western Conference for 4.
Okay.
Now you're going to be even more shocked when you hear this one. I've got the LA Lakers coming in number 4.
Wow. I
Re-
done already thought, yeah.
I haven't put them in here yet. And the reason I'm going to put them at number 4 is because I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to trust that new head coach. I can't think of his name, but I'm going to trust Russell to come off the bench. I think we shouldn't have got him out in the first place, and I'll be the first person to say that. So coming off the bench might be a good role for him. I think LeBron still plays well. I think he becomes the number 1 leading overall scorer this year. I think he passes Kareem for sure. I also believe that AD will stay healthy. That's a prayer. That's all I got to say. But I think that they turn their success around because I think this is one of LeBron's. I think he signed a 2-year deal, I think, because his son's going to come to the league here soon. And I think he's going to try and get one more push to win another chip before his son comes in the league. And I think this is the year that they do it. That's all I got to say about the Lakers.
Okay. All right. No, I respect that pick, man. Like I said, I would love to see that happen. I really would. And if AD can stay healthy, I mean, I don't see why
not.
Couldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm just not betting on him staying healthy, which
True.
I picked him for fantasy. So
I couldn't do it.
But no, I respect that pick, man. I respect that pick. I'm gonna put the.
You've got the Suns, the Warriors, the Nuggets, the Clippers.
The Warriors right here, man.
The Warriors?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking they're gonna be a top 3 seed.
Reigning champs. Yep.
Is it because Draymond punched him in the face?
It's not, man. It's Wait, hold on, bro. I'm so sorry. I got the Clippers right there.
Okay. I figured you have the Warriors higher, so that's why I said that.
Yes. So some of these ones at the bottom of the line, I forgot that we passed on, like the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I got the Clippers right there, man. I like Kawhi a lot. I like PG. I think they got defense. I think we haven't seen too much of them being all the way healthy.
True.
And if they can pull that off this year, dude, they can be super high. So a 9 to did I put him at 4?
Yeah. Put him at 4.
A 9 to 4 jump, dude. That's huge. And I think that you got him even higher than that. So
It's possible. It's crazy. I'm not sure yet.
but no, yeah, I'm pretty big on them. They got a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they've been developing this for a few years, and they're ready to kind of see what they're worth.
Absolutely. Who you got at the 4 in the Eastern Conference Finals?
So at the 4, I'm gonna go with
The 76ers. Okay.
Yep. Now I think that they could do awesome if James Harden blows up, but I'm gonna be safe and I'm gonna put them right there. What do you think, man?
I'm going to put the Celtics right there. And the reason I would have them higher if they had their same head coach, but I think that head coach is going to make a hell of a difference. So that's why I'm going to put the Celtics there. But I think they still play well, with Tatum and Brown and everybody. That whole starting 5 is phenomenal on paper for sure. It's kind of like the Clippers on paper. I feel like if I had to compare the Eastern to Westerns, I'd compare the Celtics to the Clippers. I really would. But I think the head coach hurts them more than what they're going to think.
Yeah, and that chemistry just with the head coach, yeah.
Wow. Now we're down to our top 3 picks.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with the Western Conference. And number 3, I'm going to have the Warriors.
Good pick.
The reason I'm coming with the Warriors is because I've got 2 teams higher than that. I'm not going to name them yet, but the Warriors, I still think they play well. Yes, they're coming off a championship. I think, they're still going to ride that high a little bit, and I think it's going to hurt them a little bit. More teams have more to prove, with that being said, and I just believe that the Warriors, will still, be a top 3 seed. I think, they'll still, be a threat throughout the whole season and especially come the playoffs because they've got that playoff experience. So I'm still definitely hyped for the Warriors. I like still Curry and Clay, and I think Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole play more of a factor than what a lot of people think.
Yeah, no, I agree with a lot of what you said, man. I think that I'm going to put them at 3 as well. I'm agree with you there. So I think we share that pick. And,
we do.
And I think that they're going to be 3 because I think that they're going to coast a little in the regular season to make sure they're healthy for the playoffs, and they're going to kick it, in the playoffs.
True, absolutely.
They're going to go off.
Absolutely. Who do you got 3rd in the Eastern Conference?
So 3rd in the East, dude, I'm going to drop the Heat down.
Ooh, okay.
3.
But they got better. So how could you drop them?
They got better, but I just feel like I feel like they got chemistry issues. I feel like Tyler Hero is improving.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Jimmy Butler is somehow always still improving. I feel like if Kyle Lowry, if he's done stagnating, he may be on the downfall. I do still like Kyle Lowry. Bam. I mean, I don't know, dude. I just have a feeling. I have a feeling they're not going to be number 1 seed again.
Okay.
I do, and I can't really give you a reason. Like, I don't think anyone's going to get injured, but
that's where you got them. Okay. Here I've got to go the Bucks. I'm going Bucks top 3 seed. Chris Middleton did get hurt during the playoffs. That's why it really hurt them, and they weren't able to advance. I believe so. But Drew Holiday was the reason they won that championship versus the Suns. And I mean, I said it, and I'll keep saying it. He was that third factor piece, and I knew someone was going to have to step up, and he did. But like you kind of said, they're falling apart a little bit. That they need, to find that drive, find that dig, because Giannis said, "I'll stay here forever." But if you guys are messing around, I'm going to leave. He said he ain't going to think twice about it. So that's why I've got the Bucks at number 3.
I feel you, man. I feel you. That's a good pick.
At number 2 in the Western Conference Finals. Give it to me, man. Give it to me.
All right, so I'm gonna bring the Suns down a seed, and I'm gonna put them at number 2. I think they had an incredible run. They had a historic run, right? That's one of the most winningest seasons ever. 64.
Yeah, yes, yep, 64 wins, yeah.
And then, they didn't add too much. They did a good job re-signing Ayton, giving Booker that bag.
Yep.
But I think Chris Paul's just getting older. I do love him.
Oh, for sure. Shout out.
He's just getting older. They got a good team, though, dude. They got a good team, and they're full. So that's why I still got them at 2. But I think that they're going to diminish a little bit.
I understand. No, and I definitely respect that for sure. At my number 2, I'm going to have to go with the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are going to be crazy this year, especially with Jamal Murray coming back, one of my favorite players to watch. And like you said, they got better this offseason as well. So I definitely see the Nuggets performing at a high level, and I think that, yeah, they're going to be too. They could arguably compete for the number 1 seed as well. Then at number 2 in the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm gonna have to go the Heat. I think the Heat will be at number 2. And not to say that they didn't get better, because they definitely got better. They didn't really get too much worse at all. But there's just one team that I think is going to elevate a little bit more, and I'll get into that once I get to my 1 seed.
I see where it's going, and you're shocking the crap out
of me. Who you've got in the? You know what? So who do you have at number 2 for the Eastern Conference Finals?
So 2 in the East, dude. I'm rocking with the Bucks.
Okay, walking with the Bucks.
And I wish they would have had a better offseason. Because I think Giannis could just take him to the promised land. And Drew Holiday's an awesome piece next to him. Chris Middleton's good. I think that they're going to be in a good drive this year. I think Giannis is just still trying to prove he's, in LeBron territory. So I got them at number 2.
I definitely respect that because, I feel like putting him at number 3, I felt like I did kind of disrespect him a little bit, but, maybe that's what they need.
It is. Maybe a kick in the butt.
Number 1 seed in the Western Conference Finals. Tell me who you've got having the best record in the West.
Well, I got your boy Jamal Murray.
You got the Grizzlies.
And
I'm on my John Moran.
An MVP caliber player, Joker, winning, man.
Oh, my bad. You've got the Nuggets.
The Nuggets, bro.
I knew that too. I knew that when I started eliminating them, but then.
Bro, I just think Joker. I
love
he doesn't
that.
deal with too many injuries. He's gonna stay solid MVP candidate all year.
I love that pick though, dude. I can't disagree with you, man. I really wanted to put them number 1 as well. I did, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
They got Murray back. They had a great offseason.
Porter's
signings.
getting healthier.
They lost Monte Morris, which was a decent defender and playmaker, but they need more of a 3-and-D, which they got in KCP. So, bro, and Michael Porter, I'm big on the Nuggets, dude. I think that they take the West and hopefully get their first chip. That's my...
All right. I like that opinion a lot because, maybe this is the year the Nuggets do it. Maybe they win it all. Now, the only team that I could see stopping them in is the LA Clippers, dude. I've got the Clippers at number 1. Now, necessarily, do I think that maybe they don't be number 1 because of the biggest factor that you said is we haven't seen them healthy long enough. And I think that might hurt them a little bit. They might be a little bit like the Warriors and kind of coast through it and then, turn it up come the playoffs as well because they have that veteran experience. They know better. But I think the Clippers on paper are the best team besides the Warriors. I feel like, and especially in the Western Conference. And I think the addition of adding John Wall is one of my favorite players. And I think he's been underutilized in the league for so long, just because, he tore his Achilles he tore his, not his Achilles.
ACL.
No. He did tear his ACL. And then the year after that, not even a year after that, he tore his Achilles, actually.
Yeah.
So he actually did both. And I just think that is the biggest addition that was, signed to the Clippers this offseason. And they got better. They still got Reggie Jackson, who was a freaking dog. Like I said, that team just got better. And I personally think that the Battle of LA is going to go to the Clippers this year.
I agree with you, man. And I think that if not the Nuggets, I think I got the Nuggets and Clippers winning the chip. And what you said about the coasting thing, Kawhi rests a lot of games.
He does. That he does.
So, but no, I definitely agree with you. I think that they could definitely absolutely win a chip. There's regular season record that may take a little bit of a hit, but they might be a little higher than I had them. But yeah, for sure, dude, they're definitely one of the best teams.
Absolutely.
John Wall.
Mm-hmm. I know who you're going to put at number one because I eliminated all the other teams. But please tell everyone who you've got at number one.
I got the Celtics finishing out one, man. You started to sway me a little with the coach news. That's a little troublesome. But I think that they're going to get it together. They're just keep improving. We thought they were going to have it all put together by now. But I think Jaylen Brown is just sneakily improving. I think everyone kind of written him off.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just getting better every game.
And he was such a better player in the finals anyways than Jason Tatum was.
Yeah. I like Jaylen Brown more than
So.
Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, Williams the third down at the big man.
Yep.
I like the Celtics a lot, dude. And the addition with Brogdon, I think that that's going to put them at the top. I hope that their coach can get under the helm. So I got the Celtics coming out the East. So who do you got?
I got the 76ers coming out of the East. My boy Beagle, he's living in Philadelphia now. He just went to a preseason game last week for $5, dude. Sat up really high, but he got to see Joel Embiid play in a preseason game, dude.
Did he say they're scary?
He didn't play as many minutes as what he normally would during a regular season game, but he said he liked him a lot. And the reason I'm going with him is because just kind of how the Celtics or the Bucks, Drew Holiday was that piece that really got them over, that able to get them over the Suns. Tyrese Maxey is that guy for the 76ers. Coming from Kentucky. But James Harden is going to elevate his play. Joel Embiid is a dog. Tobias Harris is going to get you a bucket every single night. I'm not worried there. Doc Rivers is a hell of a coach. He just needs to stop blowing so many 3-1 leads, and he'd be a better coach. But I just think the 76ers, I feel like they have the most to prove. I feel like James Harden has the most to prove. And Joel Embiid, like you said, he's going to come for that MVP. And I just believe that it's going to be hell of a fight in the East and the West this year, and it's going to be great to watch. And I hope, Rio, that you're watching as many games as I'm watching this year because I'll be calling it and texting you about it.
I plan on it, man. I'm already watching a lot more football this year. I'm already a lot more just into fantasy. It's kind of helping me keep. I have to keep up on it if I want to do good in it. So
That's true.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking to watch it more, man. We'll have some convos about it. Do more videos about it. When D Rose wins the MVP, we'll make a video.
Oh yeah, second one.
Yeah.
You never know. But yeah, so this is the end of the podcast. It is an hour and almost 25 minutes long. I know this is a long podcast today, but hey, I appreciate everyone who watches the video or sticks around to the end of the video because we have a lot to talk about. And we're not just giving our this is what number 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is. We actually go into depth and we let you guys know what moves they made, what they did, and this and that, and why we really think our picks are going to be what they're going to be. And it's going to be cool to see, are the 76ers going to finish one, or will they finish two? Will Rio Celtics finish one, even though they've got head coaching problems? Will the Nuggets be as scary and as healthy as what everyone thinks they're going to be? You never know. It's the NBA, and we're just excited to watch it because this is some of the best NBA to watch right now currently. So please get on your NBA League Pass, or if you're watching it at the bar, wherever you are, just tune in. You need to do it.
For sure, man. For sure. I appreciate you guys coming. Riley has been making this a hell of a channel. We kind of was like a 3-man creation of it, but he's taken a lot of the load. He's doing a lot of work on it, doing editing, figuring out plan. It's not easy to do one of these videos. It's more than just being a fan of it. You got to do your research and you got to have not always biased opinions. So I just appreciate you coming. He's working really hard and making our channel awesome.
I appreciate that, and there's been highlight videos up more and more, and it's really cool. I love making highlight videos for not only us creators because it's just really cool to see our game, especially because it's funner to do highlights of yourself than it is of anybody else. But it's really cool just to see everyone on our channel just have highlights. My buddy Tanner, I just did highlights for him. Mr. Carson Adams, just came out with some highlights. That's why, and DJ, I just did highlights for you as well, man. So just to see you guys, play and have those highlights is cool because you guys get to have them, but then everyone else gets to see your highlights as well, and just to see how well and how good you guys have played on this channel. So once again, thanks for everybody for coming on. That's it. Like I said, we'll make more. There will be a football video coming out later this week, and then we'll definitely be making another basketball video here soon. Don't know when yet, but Reo and I will coordinate and get you another video. So until then, peace out, and the season starts tomorrow. Good luck, everyone.